A man once came to Buddha. With a quiet question in his heart, he bowed gently, lowered his eyes, and spoke in a soft voice. "O Lord," he said, "please tell me, what is the worth of human life?" It was not a loud question. It was not dramatic. It was the kind of question people ask when they feel something inside them is being overlooked. Buddha looked at him calmly. There was no hurry in his expression, no rush to answer. For a moment, he said nothing, and somehow that silence already felt like part of the answer. Then Buddha smiled, not the smile of someone about to give advice, but the smile of someone who understands why the question is being asked. Instead of replying with words, Buddha reached down and placed a small shining stone into the man's hand. The stone was smooth, cool to the touch, quietly beautiful. "Before I answer you," Buddha said gently, "go to the market, visit different shops, show them this stone, tell them you want to sell it." Then he paused. "But remember," he added softly, "do not sell the stone to anyone." The man felt puzzled. He had asked about life, about value, about meaning, and he was given a stone. Still, he trusted Buddha. Sometimes trust comes before understanding. He bowed respectfully, held the stone carefully, and walked toward the market. The market was busy, voices calling out prices, people moving quickly, hands exchanging goods. Everyone seemed focused on something different. The man walked slowly, as if he didn't want to rush the moment. He stopped first. At an orange seller's stall, he held out the stone and asked politely, "Can you tell me what this stone is worth?" The orange seller took the stone in his hand, looked at it briefly, turned it once and smiled. "I will give you a dozen oranges for it," he said. The man nodded quietly. He did not argue, he did not explain, he simply took the stone back and walked on. Inside him, something stirred, not anger, not disappointment, just a feeling that this was not the whole answer. He continued walking and stopped at a vegetable vendor once again. He showed the stone and asked the same question. The vendor examined it for a moment and then replied, "Take a sack of potatoes and leave this shining stone here." The man thanked him politely and moved on. Something felt unfinished, not wrong, just incomplete, so he kept walking. Soon, he entered the shop of a goldsmith. The goldsmith took the stone carefully, held it closer to the light, and studied it. His expression changed. "This stone is rare," he said slowly. "I will buy it for 1,00,000 gold coins." The man felt surprised. This was more wealth than he had ever imagined. For a brief moment, the mind whispered possibilities, but he remembered Buddha's instruction. "I cannot sell this stone," he replied gently. The goldsmith paused, looked again, and said, 5,00,000 gold coins." The man's heart beat faster. Still, he refused. "My teacher told me not to sell it." And so he walked on, not proud, not conflicted, just calm. Finally, he entered the shop of a diamond merchant. The room felt different, quieter, almost still. When the merchant saw the stone, he froze. He did not speak. Slowly, he spread a red velvet cloth on the table, placed the stone gently on it, and bowed his head. The man watched silently. "Where did you find this precious stone?" The merchant asked softly. "My teacher gave it to me," the man replied. The merchant smiled. "This stone," he said, "has no price. Even after selling the entire world, we could not estimate its worth. It is priceless. It is invaluable." The man felt something settle inside him. The same stone, oranges, potatoes, gold, and now priceless, confused yet enlightened. He returned to Buddha. He narrated everything he had experienced, and then asked again, "O Lord, now, please tell me, what is the worth of human life?" Buddha smiled gently. "My friend," he said, "the orange seller valued the stone as oranges. The vegetable vendor valued it as vegetables. The goldsmith valued it as gold, and the diamond merchant recognized its true nature." He paused. "The stone never changed," Buddha continued softly. "Only the eyes looking at it did. The same is true for human life. You are a gem," he said calmly, "but people will value you according to their knowledge, their awareness, and their capacity to understand. Many people do not know their own worth," Buddha continued, "and because of that, they settle for far less than they deserve. The value of your life," he said, "depends on where you place yourself. People will understand your value only as much as you understand it yourself. If you underestimate your worth, the world will give you less, and if you recognize your worth, the world responds differently. Most people allow anyone to decide their value, Buddha said gently. But those who know their true worth refuse to accept the opinions of others. They refuse to be defined because they understand that their value is not set by others. It is set within. Buddha looked at the man with calm eyes. So remember, he said softly, do not let people put a price on you. You decide your worth. The man bowed deeply, not because he was told to, but because something inside him felt settled. The lesson did not feel heavy. It felt light, like understanding something he had always known, but never had words for. Foreign applause fades softly, and in that quiet moment, the truth remained. You were never worthless. You were simply standing in the wrong market, and realizing that feels like rest.